Hi guys, I'm Shmee, hello and welcome back to the channel where today you join me here at GMP Cars just north of San Francisco for a few rather crazy cars and one in particular that we're going to be having some fun with today. So they've got a pretty cool setup here, lots of different things going on, but inside the workshop just here are the cars that I'm going to be showing you, and prepare to be amazed at this fantastically crazy lineup. We've got a Liberty Walk Aventador, we have a Mansory Urus, we have the Novitec Overdose Rolls-Royce Dawn, and then we have this, the Novitec N-Largo 812 Superfast. And this is the car that we're going to be taking a look at today. Just look at this thing, one of only 18, and then we're going to get the noise of it and take it out for a test drive to experience all of the craziness of this thing. I can't wait, let's do this. You will notice that each of the cars that are currently here have the craziest wide-body kits. We've got the Ferrari, the Rolls-Royce, and the two Lamborghinis, the Liberty Walk kit, the Mansory kit, and both of these from Novitec. All cars that belong to Russian 007 AM, who has invited me today to join also with GMP. And this car is a project between the two of them, one of only 18 packages of this full wide-body kit for the Ferrari 812 Superfast. And in fact, although they have completed this car and painted it in a custom satin copper paint colour, they also have another kit ready and waiting there to be going on to another one very shortly. But I'm going to show you around this in detail, then we're going to start it up, and believe me, this is going to sound epic. And then the best bit is going to be taking it out for a drive to experience what this is like, and I can't wait for that right now. So the N-Largo is Novitec's incredibly wide body package that they offer for different cars. They introduced it for this car's predecessor, the F12 Berlinetta. They made 15 N-Largos, followed up with a further 11 N-Largo S kits. They then did projects as well for the 488 GTB, the 488 Spider, and more recently the McLaren 720S, and then they introduced this, long awaited at the time, one of only 18 they're doing in total based on the 812. The biggest thing you notice though is just how wide this thing is. At the rear it is 14 centimeters wider in total than the standard 812, which is not exactly a small car. It is also 7 centimeters wider at the front as well. Pretty much, well, just about every panel is actually changed in some form. You can see the different design, how much more it's shaped around the front. You've got that very, very aggressive nose, the exposed carbon of the lower splitter. The whole body is actually carbon fibre, the new parts from Novitec. You've got the touches with the paintwork that have been done here by GMP as part of their body shop. They've painted it in this unique colour that they've created for the car, inspired by a Ferrari, painted in something similar. But this is a project, like I said, between Russian 007 AM and GMP Cars to make this, which has been on display at Car Week at some of the events that have been up there. Around the back, you've got the fixed carbon spoiler up top. You've also got the aggressive shapes down towards the diffuser, but you can see just how much extra width this has. Of course, 7 centimeters extra on each side. Now the car, like the others in here actually, are all running on Forgiato wheels. It also has the set of the Vossens that Novitec created with Vossen that go with it. But as we look around, it's just insane. And remember, of course, up here, you've got a 6.3 litre naturally aspirated V12. The standard 812 already makes 800 horsepower. This, with the N-Tronic, makes 840 horsepower. Also, torque goes up from 718 newton meters to 751. And that means that this car behind me here will do 0 to 62, despite still being rear-wheel drive, in 2.8 seconds, so 100 kilometers an hour that is. And it will go to a top speed of 345 kilometers per hour. Off the top of my head, that's about 224, 225 miles per hour, which is a huge, huge number. And I tell you what else is also really, really cool. Check out this little detail here. They have also, if I take the key, painted it to match. They have painted the Ferrari key to match with the car, and obviously this is the control for the exhaust system, which we're going to be hearing very, very shortly. But I'm going to leave that back just on the dash for a moment before we're going to be taking this out. So I think we should probably step on board and get this started up so that we can hear how it sounds. The first step then is going to be to get a start up from the Mansory Urus with its complete carbon kit and also that new exhaust system that has. There will be more to come with this car. In fact, I think I might even be driving it into the city. We'll see if that's going to be happening later on. So that will just head out of the way for the time being before we can can get this on the start and heading outside into the sunshine, and that's where you're going to see this colour really coming even more to life. And yeah, needless to say, I'm quite looking forward to hearing what this is like, because the one time I heard one of these before, well, it kind of blew my ears off. So I'm not sure if this is going to do exactly the same. We will find out in a moment, but you just start to see more of those extra wide body parts that are installed onto the actual bodywork of it. This thing, I love it. I really do. It's just something so stand out. That's what's so cool about it. It's just about time then. I hope you're ready for this. In fact, I should probably stand back a touch, but let's take a listen to the 812. Yeah. There's not much that beats an 812, especially one with a different exhaust on it. I think that's not quite as loud as the one that I filmed with before, but it's still insane on the cold start sequence right now. This car. Just look at that. Look at this thing. And then this is going to be the moment you can see what it looks like in the sunshine as soon as it crosses out of the shadows, and you'll see what I'm talking about with the colour of this car. The copper coming to life, but also the kind of pearlescent nature of it as well. Look at this. The way you get those incredibly bright highlights. Really, really cool. We're going to take a quick listen then to the start of the Aventador before going out for the 812. Let me come round to the back and let's hear it. Okay. Maybe I was a little bit too close. Sounds good though, doesn't it? Never ever going to get boring. Look at this thing. It's currently sitting low. You can see it lifting up a little bit. You've got the wide body. You've got this huge, huge wing. And I think it has set off an alarm. That is cool. That is really cool. And look at these two together, side by side. Well, that's much wider with those flared out fenders. But this is what it's all about right now. So he's heading out. I'm going to take a step inside here, start it up again, so that we can take this off for the drive. Of course, keyless now in the 812. Put on the brake. This comes into life as well. Battle of the V12s. So then, let's do this. Well, that was loud. I don't know which is better though. This is just the gentle drive. So, of course, I've got to take this carefully and easily. This is one of only 18. I know I've said that a few times in this video so far. It is a very, very special thing. Any 812 is always a fantastic car. I absolutely love it. Many of you know this. A lot of similarities with my GTC 4 Lusso, but in the case of the 812, the 2-seat, slightly smaller, slightly lighter, slightly more nimble, rear wheel steering. So we will just take this easy for a moment, delicately and gently. And this is, of course, where you listen to that background noise. I say I'm going to take this easy. I'm going to put it into manual, drop down some gears. Oh, the bubbles, even going really slowly. I can't wait in a moment to get out to a proper road. Well, we find ourselves behind the Liberty Walk Aventador, heading onto the highway. This is quite a mini convoy we've accidentally arranged. Oh, those burbles and crackles when you lift off in first gear in this car. Oh, we can hear his noise as well. That's loud. And then here, because it's a Ferrari, if you ever want to be antisocial, you pull both paddles, it goes into neutral. Yeah, we're getting flame balls there, we're getting flame balls. This pairing of cars is quite frankly silly. Liberty Walk Aventador, Novitec N-Largo Ferrari. And we're now heading to an epic road. Game on! torque Aventador. Just slowly letting the revs build in. I love the sound of this and the speed of the downshifts. Just monumental. Here's the thing then, into first gear and then foot down. The sound is insane. Bang! Wow. This thing drives like you expect the 812 to drive. Of course, we've got lowering springs, it's so much wider, different wheels, different profile tyres, different setup, but there doesn't seem to be any initial detriment as a result of that. Of course, normally the trade-off is a little bit in visual appearance versus how the car dynamically handles, hence why race cars have much smaller wheels and much larger tyres, as opposed to road cars, which are more set up to look really cool with the biggest wheels you can possibly fit. Insane. Just enjoy the sounds of this through some of these fantastic turns. So heavenly. The sound of this thing, it's unreal. Just take a listen to this in neutral. Have a listen to the back. Yeah, I mean, just, yeah, crazy. This is turning into some kind of ode to the V12. Smooth flowing roads. If I put down the window, this is one of the things about modern cars. Glass and sound deadening is so good that it actually quietens so much of the exhaust noise. Wow. Wow. Sound, the burbles. I tell you what else when you're driving in here, when you look out towards the bonnet, the way you've got those additional carbon pieces over those openings that you have, they just look so aggressive and neat. Of course, the bonnet is gigantic. You've got a mid-engine V12 up front, generally speaking. This kind of road, in a car like this, I don't really know what could ever actually be better than this. There's an empty stretch of road in front. This should be kind of fun. Okay then, 812s are really fast, really fast, and I love the setup and style. It's always been my favourite kind of car to drive. You've got practicality, boot behind you, loads of space, trunk cushion say out here, the carbons, it just feels phenomenal, and then it feels like a true supercar when you're driving it properly. I mean, yeah, the engine is in front, not rear mid-engined or rear-engined, but it just feels like it's got that spark and sprightliness and dynamic capability, and this is what I love so much about the Ferraris and why I basically daily drive the GTC 4 and V12s. That is just pure heaven. This is
such an epic car. I love it. I love it so much. We're going down onto the highway, so just, I guess, as a little bit of a test, let's see if we can make it more civilized. Let's pop the car down into sport, or even go all the way into wet, back into auto. You've also got bumpy road mode because it's a Ferrari, so you can, when you're in wet, you have that on by default. If you're in sport mode, you could then press bumpy road mode, which softens the suspension and makes it all ride a little bit more peacefully, which it clearly does. It now drives like a normal car. That's not much fun though. It's much more fun to be back into race, to be back into manual, to drop some gears. The ferocity of the shifts is so incredible. Just the aggression of it, and of course also, if you brake in a Ferrari and press the downshift and hold downshift, it basically drops down every gear it can. Never has a highway been more fun. And here we are then, back at GMP Cars. So we've got a difficult ramp here. Let me pop the lift system up, which we do just like that. There we go. So there's a very nice lineup of cars outside. And I believe there is something else for us to explore inside now as well. So up we come, avoiding the PT Cruiser there. Pop the lift back down. Put the button just there we go. Have a look through these shutters at what is lurking now on the right hand side, joined by a pista pilotti. So I will park this up just in the sunshine in front of the Urus for the time being. Tell you what else though, you might have seen the GT2 RS that's here. Been seeing a lot of that car during this tour. So, handbrake on. I suppose all that's left is obviously you don't turn the key to turn the car off, is to press. Car automatically goes into park, parking brake inserted. Yeah, that's it. That's the sound of this unbelievable car. And what a sound it is.
Obviously, I have to come straight in then to show you this, the Ferrari 488 Pista. And this isn't just any Pista, this is of course the Pilotti livery with the painted stripes. It also has many exposed carbon fibre areas, all through Ferrari tailor-made. It was built and introduced to celebrate Ferrari's racing success with the 488 race cars, and they're only available actually to current Ferrari race drivers too. So for example, you get your painted racing number also on the side of it, and that in the blue looks stunning. Sitting alongside here, the Novitec Overdose Dawn, and from Novitec they actually call it Spofec, which is a shortening of Spirit of Ecstasy, and they call it Overdose because, well, it's an overdose of injected steroids pretty much with how wide that thing actually is. And that colour scheme is absolutely ridiculous. Anyway, today has been all about this, the N-Largo 812, and what an experience it has been. And as we actually take a look at this from the rear of the car, just look at how wide it is. The way you have the horizontal lines, just emphasising that even more, and the way it actually looks like you've got an 812 inside of the N-Largo, the way the design of it all comes together. It is so wide, so mean, so aggressive. But fortunately, the roads we've been driving on today are just about wide enough that it hasn't been too much of a concern. Certainly driving that around London, as one of the customers has been doing, I would be slightly more anxious about what's going on. But the way the front is redesigned, the way the shapes are done, of course the large opening still for the cooling, extra cooling coming through, but I love the kind of shape of that almost waterfall you have around the side. These pieces, as I mentioned, from inside look incredible, the way they just give more aggression to the front of the car. And the general design, the N-Largo made a statement when it was introduced, the N-Largo S even more so, the follow-up N-Largo models have done so as well, and now this, only 18 units, 5 of which are over here in the USA, and what an experience this has been today. So a huge thanks goes to Russian 007AM for getting in touch and inviting me to come down. Of course, also to GMP Cars, who have been showing me around the facility here, the servicing workshops, paint shops, and everything that they've got going on. But that has been a proper experience. I absolutely love the thing. It's absurd, it makes no sense, but somehow it actually does. I'll pop the links down below though if you'd like to go and follow the guys, but thank you very much as always for watching. I appreciate your support as always, and I'll see you again very soon. Cheers!